look both ways before he goes through. So, sometimes, Philip, we follow people that are being pursued and we think there might be drugs or alcohol involved. This guy, not that case. He has control of that bike. He's ridden it very well from the moment we got overhead. And he's still looking around. There are no patrol cars behind him. We don't think any authorities are following him at this point on the surface streets, just from the air. Yep. He's got the steering stabilizer turned up, if you know what I'm talking about, because he doesn't want to go at those rates of speeds and hit anything that's going to make that front wheel wobble. But at this point, law enforcement, I think, from following this, are just saying, hey, let's follow him from the helicopter. We can't really control what this guy does on the ground right now, and we really aren't in a position to try and stop this. I don't see that there's much that they could do to try and get in this guy's way. They're not going to be able to throw out a spike strip. That doesn't seem to be an option. CHP has called off their pursuit. It was on the freeways for a while. I believe this is going to be the West Covina area. And it's incredible, though, to watch these things accelerate, isn't it? At one moment, it looks like, bring up a real-time speed tracker, he'll be doing 35 or 40, and within an instant, he'll be up to 90 miles an hour. Yeah. Yeah. Push into the bike. Now, this is a dead end right here, Philip. I want to interrupt you for a moment. Open up out of the shot. Oh, he realized it, and he turned around. That was a dead end on that street. So that's a situation where if patrol cars were behind him, they could have ended it as he went down that little surface street, and it was a cul-de-sac. There was no place else to go. So certainly we talk a little bit about him maybe being in an area that he's familiar with. This probably isn't the case here. Is he waving? I think he might be. It wouldn't be the first motorcycle chase that I've covered where the motorcyclist did it on purpose and was trying to get a little attention, was waving at the police. And that appeared that that's what it was in that situation right there moments ago, that he was just waving at the helicopter overhead because there are no patrol cars behind him. And I can't tell what type of motorcycle that is. It looks like a late model, and the power to weight ratio on these things, some of them up to 200 horsepower, and they only weigh like 400 pounds. It just makes for a rocket out on the roadways. We haven't seen it. There's a patrol car at that intersection. Let's see if he turns. He does. So it looks like now if we open up a little bit, you're going to see the patrol car behind him. And we'll see if he does go back on the motorcycle and push in. So as soon as he saw that motorcycle behind him, he really started the acceleration. This is accurate, 75, 80, 90 miles an hour. For a moment there, it took a second for the speed tracker to catch up. That wasn't 140. And now he's slowing a bit for this intersection. There's a patrol car behind him, and that has changed his demeanor here. He's going to go through this intersection, make a right turn. There's another patrol car. So it looks like we're in a jurisdiction now. And I believe we're still in Whittier, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, not Whittier, in the West Covina area. And they do have two patrol cars behind him at the moment. Thank you. That's correct. They tried to pull him over for speeding. We're actually in Baldwin Park, and I believe those are Baldwin Park PD units behind him. But they just cannot pursue this motorcycle on the surface streets. You know, the officers have to stop for the red lights. They can't just bust through. And the motorcyclist was able to maneuver through those lights very quickly. They're still behind him. You don't see him in this shot because they're too far off. We'll stay on the motorcycle at this point. But we're in Baldwin Park. We're headed back southbound towards the 60. And even though they have a couple of units behind him, it's really difficult for them to try and track him on the ground. Yeah. I can't really tell. There's really, the patrol cars behind him a couple hundred yards. They're just having a hard time keeping up. It looks like they'd like to get right on his tail, but at this point, he's just too maneuverable for them, and the acceleration on that bike is such that the patrol cars get caught behind a red light, as they have now, and then he just slows down, almost, Philip, as if he's taunting them. When he sees the patrol cars go through the red light, you don't see this as well as I do, he accelerates. And then when they get stuck behind a red light, well, he slows down, and he waits for them to catch up. So it's almost like a cat and mouse game here. Open up a little bit so you can see the patrol cars behind him now and see how close they've gotten. Now look at that. That's what, really frightens you, I would think, if you're the motorcyclist. Somebody pulls in front of you, you hit them, and it could be all over very quickly. Crossing right underneath the 60 freeway now, headed southbound. And you can tell he waits for the patrol cars to get on him, and then he just launches and takes off. So it almost appears that this is a bit of a game to this motorcyclist. Yeah. I think we're up to about 100. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, no doubt about that. And if this is one of the wins, bring up the speed, would you? We're right on top. It should be accurate. And he is really moving now, 90 miles an hour. And look at that, in and out of traffic. So exactly right, Philip. I mean, although the public at large is in a bit of danger here, as far as if he crashes into a car or, God forbid, hits a pedestrian, because that could be fatal. If he crashes at these speeds, he's really going to be in trouble. If you can get me the other side, it'd be great. Yep. No, absolutely. And the patrol cars swerving in and out, almost like, yeah, I'm not certain when you lost our signal, but yeah, they're no longer behind him was the point I was making. And he was swerving in and out, almost like he's just enjoying riding his motorcycle. He certainly seems to have complete control of the bike. And we are still, we're in the Hacienda Heights area now. We're south of the 60 freeway, no longer on the north side. And we did see him go into what it was almost like a business park there, go into the courtyard, and I saw a big parking structure, and I thought possibly, we've seen that before, that he might try and make a move there and make a run for it, knowing that there was no patrol cars behind him. But he does know the helicopter's overhead. And once again, at this point, I think they're just going to be content to follow with the helicopter. You see him in that shot, and just wait until the suspect finally decides to, make a run for it or give himself up. Well, fortunately, the sheriff's department has a lot of